So we're going to discuss tonight Romans 11, maybe up to verse 17. Romans 8, verse 11 to 17. So here goes. Yes, God raised Jesus to life. Whew. God raised Jesus to life. And since God's spirit of resurrection lives in you, wow, doesn't that just excite you? And since God's spirit of resurrection lives in you, He will also raise your dying body to life by the same spirit that breathes life into you. Verse 12. So then, beloved ones, the flesh has no claims on us at all, and we have no further obligation to live in obedience to it. Verse 13. For when you live controlled by the flesh, you are about to die. But if the life of the Spirit puts to death the corrupt ways of the flesh, we then taste His abundant life. As you know, it says in another verse in the Bible that Jesus gives us life, and life more abundantly, if we walk in the Spirit, in the leading of the Holy Spirit. But, we all started walking in the flesh until we met Jesus. So now there's two elements fighting inside of you. The Holy Spirit, who wants to lead you, or your flesh. Now, most of the time we think you're in the flesh, meaning you're sinning, the obvious sins, like I mentioned last week. But actually, you can act very super spiritual and still be in the flesh. Because we need to be led by the Holy Spirit. And sometimes that takes a while before you get used to it. Have you been trying it? Sometimes you live in the Holy Spirit, sometimes you're led by your flesh. But as you grow in the Lord, as you continue to read, continue to really spend time in the presence of the God who is alive, you will be able to tell that, oops, I'm not being led by the Spirit. I can sense that my flesh is rising up. Are you like me? Do you have this inner struggle sometimes? Because that is the reality of the Christian walk. You can either walk in the flesh or you can walk in the Spirit. And if you're very task-oriented, you might not be used to waiting on the Spirit to tell you what to do. But I am telling you, never make decisions when you're experiencing trauma, or you are uptight, or you're going through something. First, get in the presence of God. That's why God says, enter my rest. The Israelites were not able to get into the promised land because they never entered His rest. What does that mean, enter His rest? Meaning your trust is not on your abilities, on whoever are your connections in human terms, but you are really seeking His face and wanting Him to do it for you. And so you will never grow tired easily if the Lord is the one leading. Have you ever tried to lead, a bunch of people to a certain direction? Have you ever gone, on tour? And, people are going here and going there, and you're the one with the megaphone, hey, 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 please follow me. But this time, it's the Spirit of the Lord saying, hey, 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 follow me. And there's an exciting journey, and there's abundant life. Why? Because God doesn't run out of life. The Holy Spirit does not go low-backed, right? So when you're tired and you rest in His presence and you allow Him, you wait, not wait to sleep, wait believing He will speak, believing He will lead, believing. We must always believe, okay? Verse 14, the mature children of God are those who are moved by the impulses of the Holy Spirit. And you did not receive the spirit of religious duty, leading you back into the fear of never being good enough. Have you ever felt that? I don't want to serve God. I don't feel good enough. But you have received the Spirit of full acceptance, enfolding you into the family of God. And you will never feel orphaned, for as He rises up within us, our spirits join Him in saying the words of tender affection, Beloved Father. Wow. Maybe you associate beloved Father with earthly father, and that's why you're having a hard time entering His rest. But beloved, your earthly father needs the beloved Father who can give perfect love. And that is the journey of every Christian who wants to be led by the Holy Spirit. He will lead you to the truth. And as you know, Jesus is the truth, and Jesus led us to the Father, reconciled us to the Father. And if you're very religious background like me, I thought that Abba Father was always angry and waiting to whack me every time I make a mistake. But when you read about Him in scriptures, when the prodigal came home, He was waiting. And halfway, He ran to the prodigal. We must allow the Holy Spirit to pull down our wrong thoughts about Abba. Abba is beloved Father. Once you have settled that, once you have a revelation that you are beloved of God, even His discipline, you will welcome it. You will not allow it, the enemy, to tell you, see, He hates you because He disciplined you. Because in the Bible it says He disciplines those whom He loves. And when you know that love encompasses the discipline part, it's not fun, but it leads you to the righteousness of God. I guess our background, we've been under too many different cultural things, the Americans, the Spanish, the Japanese, and we have this fear thing in us regarding authority or regarding our parents. But when you are really in a relationship with someone, you talk it out, right? And both parties will have to come into agreement. You speak and then I speak. That's what you call communication. And then you begin to understand one another. Now, who do you think will teach us? Will we teach Abba? Or will Abba teach us? Maybe your background is you're only called by your father when you did something wrong. But Abba is there 24/7. And He encourages. Jesus said, pray in this manner, Our Father, which art in heaven. Now, in the Bible, is there a time to pray? You can only pray at 3 a.m. No. You can call on Him 24/7. You can actually vent and say, Abba, I don't understand what's going on in my life. And the Spirit of the Lord is the one that will give you that assurance. First of all, that you have the spirit of sonship that cries, Abba, Father. And once you've settled the issue of sonship, it's easier to be led by the Spirit. Because you are not going to allow trauma or bad experiences with people to lead you in your decisions in life. You will let the Holy Spirit show you the Word, and when you have the right spirit, then you understand the Word in the right way, then you are led by the Spirit. So, beloved, I'm really taking time in Romans 8 because many Christians are really not aware that Holy Spirit is the power for you to forgive, the power to you to obey, the power in you so you can obey. That's how it is. Let us be led by the Spirit. Let us come near to God and get to know Abba, Settle your father issues. Let the Holy Spirit help you in all of these so that you can walk a powerful life. So we come every Tuesday so we will understand how to stay revived. You don't do it once a year by going to a camp. You relate every day with Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And as I have explained before, Father and Son are up there seated, but Holy Spirit is inside of you so you can live the abundant life that Jesus promised you. So once again, meditate on this. You know, one of the hardest things I have learned mentoring women is they don't have the patience to listen and wait. But once you've developed that by inviting the Holy Spirit to sensitize you, your spiritual senses, to let the Holy Spirit train your spiritual senses of sight and hearing and taste and touch. If you can just allow Holy Spirit into your innermost being, the change will be awesome and it will last. And you will have fruits that remain. So I pray that you will go through Romans 8. You can always watch when we started Romans 8. And just go into a journey with the Holy Spirit. You read it with the Holy Spirit. And He will begin to show you things in your life that is blocking you from having an abundant life. So once again, I pray you will have a wonderful week ahead of you. And see you next Tuesday. Hey, stay revived. God bless you.
Bless the Lord.